find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey YB, this is Montero. Logan, I just want to reach out to you and say thank you so much for all you have done for the community, for the shows. Grateful that you're coming back full attack, and everybody watch out for YB.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Carrie D.
And I'm Lyndon James.
And we are Roommate. We just want to take a few moments to thank and show our love to Yasss Bitch Entertainment.
Okay. Yes, God.
Okay. We just always love your energy, love your support. Yeah. Since we started as Roommate, you were one of the biggest supporters that we have gotten to experience, and we just wanted to send that love right on back. Absolutely.
Yes, most definitely. And I would say, if anything, you're like one of the most honest, genuine people out there who give you like 100% honest feedback. You don't keep it a buck, you don't keep it 100, okay? So, and that's what we need as artists, to grow and to be better, you know what I'm saying? So it's needed, so keep doing your thing. For sure, okay?
I just want to take the time out to let you know how good of a friend you are. Such an inspiration to us in our community, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing such a great job.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Ike from G Status ATL Hustle. I just want to take a minute and shine a light on my boy YB. Truly the gift that keeps on giving. Always pleasant to me during my time in reality. Truly the LeBron James of mass media. The reporting and reviewing is always above the tier. Always intellectual, always fair, balanced, and most of all, funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for reading me when I need to be read. But most of all, reading others when they had it wrong about your boy. We truly don't deserve you. I wish you the best in all you continue to do. Hoping that you go higher, deeper, farther than you've ever been in all of your goals and all of your aspirations. Hello, God, honey. Okay? I know that's right. It's your boy Ike. I'm out.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome.
I mean, I never been asked why wasn't able to do the commercial. That's all I want to know. Okay. I suppose nobody asked me to do the commercial.
I did.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh.
You, Tremel, Conscious, a lot of people.
And I'm going to, and just know that I'm slaying the rest of these bitches. So they better be
ready. Now I gotta get my commercial game up. I'm like, this motherfucker got a whole commercial, and I am not a part. Okay.
Child, I thought Ike was winning a goddamn Golden Globe nomination the way he was carrying.
I said, okay. I didn't expect all that. Thank you.
Period. I love it.
Thank you. And welcome everybody to season 3, the Yes God Roundtable, episode 8. Child, we are moving along. Yeah. 2 more episodes left, y'all.
I'm gonna miss my co-stars. I can't believe our season is coming to an end. Is there gonna be a reunion?
Okay, yeah,
you know what? I never really thought about that before. Have everybody I've ever had on here before at one time? That would not be bad.
Yes.
A night of stars. Real stars, honey. Hello, guys. Yes. I love it. I love it. That's not a bad idea. Maybe.
That'd be cute. I need to give me some like virtual shoes because I definitely got some shit I want to swing. Got a few bitches. Like, I got to turn it out just a little bit. Okay. Hey, Kat. Hey, Dee. What's going on?
And shout out to Tramel. Shout out to Tramel. He may be joining us soon.
Yeah.
And welcome, everyone. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. Okay. Make sure you guys are following every one of the panel members. Everyone's information is in the description of this video. Hello, God. How we get to the next level is by the assistance, amen, of everybody.
Amen.
All right. Yes. So, first, how was y'all's week?
My week was pretty good. I spent time with my man.
Yes.
And I had a show yesterday. Me and Tramel performed together last night, actually. And yeah, I've just been chilling pretty much, getting ready for this move. And
you're moving?
Everybody.
Yes, I'm moving. I'm moving to New York.
What?
Yes.
Why?
That's my man.
Your man is in New
York.
York.
Good. Yeah, he in New York. But I mean, he ain't the only reason why. I was going beforehand, but you know, having a man there was, you know, a little icing on the cake. But
oh my God.
I was going there. I just want to try a different city, a different market. I've done a lot here in Atlanta. I just want to try and see where else, if my talent, you know, can push me in the right direction there rather than here. I mean, it's not saying it's not going in the right direction here. It's just
right.
I just want to try something different. Like, hey, I'm getting older. I want to say I done it before I can say, damn, I wish I would have.
I don't want you to go, K-Star.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll be back. I'll be down here to visit. I still got work down here. My favorite studios is down here. I'm gonna still be here.
With Tramel? Y'all are like
Louise. Yeah, we talked about that.
What? It doesn't even make sense.
Y'all are like Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna still be here for my girl. That's my bitch.
Oh my God. Child, a car is about to be Skyping in on Tramel performances, child. Like Beyonce got the awards.
When is this move?
On November 1st.
Oh wow!
But me and Tramel is doing a concert in November, so it might be a little bit later because we got we doing a full concert, like a concert. Not these little shows that everybody be doing. We're gonna have some lights, cameras, some fog machines, some dancers, the whole nine.
My goodness, that's amazing! Congratulations!
Well, congratulations! I'm happy for you.
Thank you. That's my week. Yes, New York, Brooklyn.
These streets will make you feel brand new. These lights will inspire you down here in New York.
Okay.
Yes, honey. Well, you know what? I also, if I were you, I would, because New York needs a good light shed on it in a lot of ways, and I think you bring some energy. So maybe if you were ever interested, link up with some people and try to get a web series going. I can see
I've already got an offer or two for some up there already.
Okay.
But it's some other popular franchises that's actually going that direction that I might, you know, talk to them about doing something of that nature. But I'll be new in town, so I'm considering all.
Let me say something to New York real quick. I will fly up on there on the wings of the gayest horse, bitch, if y'all fuck with my motherfucking homegirl, okay?
Period.
Because New York in the South, we clash because they're rude and we can get there too, bitch. Okay.
You know, see, I'm from the Midwest, and I'll be trying to let them know that you know, I'm not exactly all. The Midwest is a nice mixture of like North and South.
Yeah.
And I had to get a lot of, like, when I moved down here, it was very different because everybody was so hospitable. And it was different because up north, even in the Midwest, where it's not like that. It's like everybody's just got this game face on. You don't talk to people you don't know. You're not really friendly. You just kind of like, everybody's just kind of like existing in the same area. So getting used to that again in like a place like New York is going to be like a little bit different for me. I haven't had any problems. I'm there. I go to New York every week. So it's not that, like, it's not really different for me. I know how to use the train, the subway system. I about know the city. I did get lost last week though. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty good. I don't have no problems with everybody. I'm talking to everybody. They have the same bums and stuff we got down here. Nothing, you know, out of the ordinary.
Your husband came through and let us know that you will be safe.
Oh, he will.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
I know that's right.
Yeah, so I can't wait. You know, spend time and be with my man. You know.
All right, I know that's right.
And chase my dreams.
Well, good luck, honey. I know that's right. Life is truly what you make it.
That's it.
You know, gotta learn how to embrace it. Okay.
Okay.
Right for what you want, honey. If you want
Period.
to be happy, all right, honey.
Shut up. I do know the subway. I got lost that one time. And we don't have to argue about that in front of these people.
Girl, you better get your yardstick because you know they got rats big as dogs out there, honey.
I know, and they so cute. I be trying to play with them and stuff.
Okay, you gonna Child.
It's the birds. I'm scared of the pigeons.
Oh, for real?
They never flying rats. I'm scared of them. I don't really mind the rats. It's the pigeons I don't like.
That's probably why the rats are so big. They're eating the pigeons.
They gotta be doing something. Them pigeons them pigeons ain't got no they ain't got no shame, child.
Well, you know, New York provides the perfect kind of conditions for birds like that. You know, the high skyscrapers, the wind, because y'all got all those buildings up there that wind funnels through. They love that shit.
Yeah.
So in the sea, I got all that water and shit, that dirty ass Hudson River.
I know. I was like, there's a lot of water here. I didn't know that.
But also, like, because New York is a concrete jungle, it's nowhere for their asses to land in nature. So they got to land on your head and your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for the invite to the wedding. If he invites me, he will invite me. I'm the flower girl, bitch.
Oh,
I'm the flower girl.
Brandon, if you like it, then you need to put a ring on it before we get to talking about a damn wedding.
I'm over here. I'm naked.
All I know is the fried chicken better be good. Hello, God.
Oh, my man cooks down. Y'all gotta follow this page on Instagram called Brendan's Kitchen. I'm telling you.
Okay.
All the time.
Yes, and I'll be the flower girl. Instead of throwing flower petals, I will be throwing fairy dust, bitch, everywhere. Period. I'll be the first flower bitch in history to ride in on a unicorn girl with wings. Hello, God.
Period, boo.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be throwing pigeons.
Yes. And how you been, Conscious? How's your week been?
Well, on echoing the sentiments of Carl, I just relocated to Alabama with my man.
Oh, yes.
And that is very interesting. We live on a big ass farmland, so I can sacrifice animals and shit and, worship naked under the stars and everything. So I am in major transition right now. My house looks a mess. Everything's all over the place. I don't know when I'm going to have, when I'm going to be able to film because I have to set up an area. It's a lot going on. But everything is going great, though. Like, life is great. Relationships are great. Friendships are great. Everything is good in my personal world. So,
okay.
How are you? How is your week?
Yeah.
So everyone at my job, including the clients, were struck with Miss 19. So I am the only one. Well, not the only one, but one of the only ones that can do what I do. That have not been. So I have been working 6 days, 12 hours a day, child, and it's a mess. So I'm just trying to keep myself sane. So I haven't been going anywhere, doing anything because I'm in an environment that could possibly give that to me. So I'm just like staying to myself. It's kind of like getting on my nerves because I'm really in need of some dick. Okay. But I don't want to expose, trade to, Miss 19. So I'm just like, girl. So this will probably be going on for the next 2 weeks. So even after those 2 weeks, I'm going to be self-quarantining again. So it's probably going to be about maybe a month before I'm back into the social world. So people may get more videos from me because I'm going to be like, if I'm not sleeping, bitch, I'm going to be doing content because I'm going to lose my mind being stuck in this box. So, but other than that, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I can't complain. So good. Okay. I can't complain. All right. So just getting on with the show, before we get into it, all the weird things that we're going to discuss today, I wanted to have some honorable mentions. First, I wanted to show some love and respect to my little sister in LGBTQ Christ, honey. Lil Nas X, honey. Debut album Montero, child, has reached across the board over 2 billion, bitch. 2 billion streams between YouTube and Spotify, girl. Hitting records, girl. His album is supposed to surpass Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy, soon. Also, he is in the running becoming America's Next Top Model. Hello, God. In the form of possibly getting a Grammy submission. Because, Grammy submissions end at the end of this month. So I'm excited for him. I love the album. I had an opportunity to listen to it several times. The album review that I did is up on my platform if you guys haven't had a chance to see it. I went in depth, not just up on the album, but just my thoughts on Lil Nas X and his experience in the whole, music industry and dealing with fuck nigga shit. So, I'm proud of him. A lot of the barriers, a lot of the things that he is, busting through the girls, like, swollen bottoms, booty hole bitch, he is out here giving the girls life and reinvigorating the music industry. And I'm totally here for it. So I did want to just shout him out, give him his flowers. I know that he's the butt of a lot of different controversies, but girl, if they're not talking about you, then you're not doing anything. So I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Thoughts on that real quick? Y'all have any thoughts on that situation or?
I'm just saying all the trolling they doing, y'all doing to make it more popular. So I mean, if y'all want to keep messing with them every day, I mean, hey, y'all only doing it to yourself. Y'all making more room for us to come on in. So and he's already was seen clubbing out with some other popular LGBT rappers. So the doors are open, and now y'all must be very upset because y'all think what he doing is something y'all ain't seen the rest of us yet.
I saw the interview that he did with Zane Lowe from Apple Music, and he said some very interesting things about how music and LGBT, how he sees it for trans rappers. He sees it for more LGBT rappers coming up. So the fact that he's now mixing and mingling amongst some of the girls already, like, are those doors going to be opening soon? I'm here for it.
I would hope so.
I'm here for it.
Help me, I'm poor.
Okay.
Well, I was curious to ask K-Star, like, with him being a musical peer, like, how do you feel about his musicianship? How do you feel about him as an artist and what he's doing as a creator?
What I like about Lil Nas X is that, like, one thing about Lil Nas X, you can't put that man in a box. Like, they trying to make him a rapper, they want to be a pop star, and the fact that y'all don't know what to call him is what's really funny to me, because it's like, if you listen to his album, it's literally, it gives you everything. It gives you hip hop, it gives you pop, it gave me rock, it gave me, contemporary, it gave me everything. Like, it was just a whole job, it was just like literally a body of work. So yeah, meaning he can literally come out. I can see himself doing, like, because when you're looking at the artists in the LGBT realm, a lot of us do different type of music. You got the pop girls, you got the rap girls, you got the trans women. It's a whole lot thing. I can literally see a feature from somebody from every different type of walk of life on that album, because he does all type of music. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes,
I'm definitely here for it.
Yes. All right. Shout out to the little sister, honey. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, honey. And hopefully Little Booty and, Story Stains and STI and the dumbass, hopefully, they can get those dildos out of their booty holes and we can live in harmony. Okay? All right. So I also wanted to talk about, what did y'all think about the VMA'S, child?
I didn't really see that much. I just see clips. I watch the performances. So, I mean, it gives... Honestly, the VMAs haven't given me what it needed to give me probably in about a good 10, 15 years now. So it's just kind of like, I don't know what it is. I think what it is now that we have so many artists out now, they're really, a lot of artists that we have now were famous before they start doing music. So they don't really have to, like, try so hard. I think one thing that why we appreciate people like artists like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and those someone that came a little bit back in the eras, because they had to prove themselves first, and they actually had to really put on an actual show to let them know that they deserve to be here. Nowadays, these people walked around the VMAs like they knew it was coming at some point. So it's just like, we're not getting the same, blood, sweat, and team, and the hard work they're putting into these shows anymore. Like, I appreciated Lil Nas X. I feel like he puts a little bit more work, but now because there's so much controversy behind everything he do, it's like, it don't matter what that man do, y'all finna make a spectacle of it. at any time anyway. So I just don't feel like they work as hard as they used to back in the day. And so they left me kind of feeling like, nah, like, I guess. It was all right, though. It was nice to see everybody. We literally watch it for the fashion. What so-and-so had on. That's pretty much it.
Which I watch it for the fashions, too. And, again, I'm going to be brief because I did a whole video laying those bitches out.
You did.
I don't know what the fuck is going on this year with people showing up looking like they've just been dressed by blind deaf people. I don't get it. Like, that's why I've been posting these runways shows on my stories lately, because I was so appalled by that. And I was like, girl, these are the options. And I posted the very girls that they were wearing. Versace, Yves Saint Laurent, I was posting the girls. Like, you could have just snatched one off the runway, girl, instead of going to the back alleys of life having some crackhead design your shit.
Because that's what it was looking like. That's definitely
what it was giving. It was giving.
And not to mention, over the past 5, 6, maybe 10 years or so, that's all we've been talking about is what are you wearing. So who's on your team that's allowing you to step out in front of all those cameras in front of the world looking like that? Like, just no, hell no.
Yeah, it was.
I tell my friends all the time, don't have me out here. If I ask you this cute bitch, don't tell me it's cute and it's not. Bitch, tell me, be like, bitch, you go in there and try again. Because I got my friends to tell me, like, bitch, what else you got?
No one ever asked me, because they know if I say this one little line, do you got anything else? They know what the tea is. Oh,
you the friend I like. I like them friends. Don't have me out here like, yeah, girl, you look good. Don't tell me that. My friends ask me all the time, be like, I don't like it.
Because if it doesn't look good in person, it's not going to translate well out. Especially if you're getting your pictures taken and stuff like that. And it's just like, I'm not going to, and plus just friendship period is about honesty, girl. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, I don't know, bitch.
Tell them, child. Tell them, because they don't believe that.
What you think, Conscious? Did you get into the VMAs?
I did not get into the VMAs. I didn't watch the entirety of the show, but I did watch all of the performance. The performances that I was interested in on YouTube. My favorite performance of the night was definitely Nobody. And I feel like the reason why award shows these days are lackluster doesn't really have a lot to do with the award ceremonies themselves. It just has to do with where the culture is. Like, for me, the most historic, unprecedented VMAs was the year 2000 when Britney Spears did her infamous "Oops, I Did It Again" performance. NSYNC had a amazing performance. Janet Jackson shut that shit down with "It Doesn't Really Matter" live. Introduction to the VMAs was everything. But when I think about why the VMAs was so spectacular, it wasn't just because we had like amazing performers actually performing, but it was because like there was an era, like there was a such thing as an era that existed. Like the 90s was an era of music. Like the pop era was a era. There was an entire like theme for these like decades that followed. But now we live in this weird era. Like we're living in an eraless era. Like everything just seems to be just there, but there's no real cohesive mood. You can't really adjust emotionally to where we are because there's just so much shit spinning around in one pot together that you just really can be an observer, but you used to be able to participate in eras emotionally. And I think that's why we found the Brandy and Monica versus battle so nostalgic, because it just brought you back to such a into such a cubicle aspect of your life where you got to really think about some specific things, like where you were when this song was coming out, what you were going through, what the fashion sense was during these eras, what shows were on TV when Brandy had her had her album out, or when Monica had Boy Is Mine out. But now, what are we going to do with Hands on My Knees? And it's some thought shit. I mean, I don't know where I was. I don't know whether I was being a thought when I heard that song. I don't know whether I was in
what
church.
meme was popular during
honey, she don't need to be worried about her knees. She needs to be worried about those motherfucking feet, bitch. girl.
You know what?
But like I said, that goes back to what I said
Megan.
earlier about the team. Who in the hell let her walk out? And her toes weren't even done. Like no paint, no like what the fuck? Who did that?
It was the I wish I would have had a picture of it right now. It was the the misplacement for me because right. The only toe that's kind of longer than the one is like that first toe next to that little thumb looking toe, right? You know? So the fact that all her shits were misplaced made me say what I said about Tory Lanez shooting all her fucking feet off, her toes off, because it looks like the doctors misplaced where to stitch them motherfuckers back at. And to smush your feet into these little ass fucking Coach of all things, shoes. What the fuck, girl? And then it looked like there was crust. So there's no lotion applied. Get you some body butters, girl. Hello, God. And smooth them motherfuckers out. Or wear some closed-toe shoes. Like, you don't have any real friends, girl. Where's Party, whatever his name is, the guy you're fucking right now, to tell you, no, babe, those feet are, and you got to cover them bitches up. That's all I got to say, girl. Like, oh, girl.
He may appreciate them toes, but, you know, people wasn't going to appreciate that. That's just being honest.
Now, her makeup, everything else was to the gods.
Was on there.
She looked good. But that dress that had that smush tit all the way up here, I'm like, and that's what I have to say about designers. I understand we want to wear the nice shit, but these white designers, they don't make stuff for the thick, busty black women. Because a lot of the girls were ill-fitted. Mm-hmm. A lot of the black women were ill-fitted. I don't know why they dressed Jennifer Hudson up in this extra large pillowcase, girl, and just spun her around. Rihanna's walking around here like a walking Morticia Adams, girl. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Met Gala. Yeah,
it seems like the black girls were slated. The black girls seem very slated this year when it came to fashion, especially as it goes to the Met Gala and the VMA'S. Mm-hmm. No man pan. Ooh,
it was definitely given Circus Orlais the year 3033. Like,
yeah,
I ain't no, I think you onto something with these white designers. Like, white designers, like, just want to be weird, and that's why it looks weird, because they just want to be weird, and it definitely translates as that. I honestly just kind of miss the days where people were just a lot more formal. Like, I with like a splash of eccentricness there, but like just going completely overboard. Like, I didn't know what the hell. Lil Nas X looked like a ghetto ass Brenda on her way to her 12th grade prom with this goddamn Illuminati ass wig on her head, and I didn't understand what.
I liked it.
You know, it
gave me Rick James, and that's what I loved about it.
It gave me
Little Richard,
or Little Richie.
But the outfit gave me the ugly stepsister from Cinderella, and that outfit was actually made by Versace.
The purple one with the tit out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was just his body. Like, he looked like his body is shaped like
he's tall. He's slender. He has no curvature to him whatsoever. You're the first black boy that I know that ain't got no ass. You're just slender. So you need to like wear things that are going to complement your body. And that outfit did not, like I said, I'm good with the matching of femme and masculine. If you would have did like a really cute tuxedo with a ruffled train, some platform heel boots, girl, or something, a different hairstyle. Like, stop playing with my time. Stop playing with the world of fashion, because that type of shit makes me want to go back to the fucking garage sale you got that shit from and whoop that person's ass just for selling it to you. That wig was serving dust mite teas. Like, you found it in your grandmother's attic, girl, just reminiscing on the time we had. Shout out to Mary. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lie. And I was like, girl, like, you have all of this money. I don't want to regurgitate my video, but girl, like, y'all have all this access.
I think it was a homage outfit. That's what I got from it.
So
like,
what,
it was
though?
like you said, like a Little Richard, Rick James, Prince vibe he had going on, and I think he kind of meshed them all
I think he was
together.
trying to contribute Little Kim's purple
situation. But you know what? Tribute yourself. You are an icon for your right now. Tribute yourself. And to be honest with you, what I feel like with him as it goes to some of his performances, and again, this is long-winded. I didn't mean to stay on this too long, but girl, I'm passionate. Hello, God. What I don't like about the situation, I love him, I celebrate him, but I don't like the forced femininity. Because when I see you in interviews, when that's who you really are. You are a naturally masculine guy. So when you're out here trying too hard, and we see that you're not even comfortable doing it that way, because even if the performance you see, he had to stress, even in the video too, he had to stress a wrist breaking. He had to stress popping that booty out real quick. Like and you try to stress in this power bottom position that you claim to play, which is fine, girl, because we all love a cute power bottom. Hello, God. Shout out to me. You know, I would like to see him differently, I guess. And again, if you're going to mix the two, do it better than what you did.
Okay, my take on that is that watching Lil Nas X reminds me of me when I was his age. It was a point in time where I felt like I had to overly do femininity to kind of like it was kind of like I'm gonna let bitches know type situation, because it's just like especially when you're already mad about certain things. So like I would go to let's say something like I would go to a gas station or something, and they you got the straight guys looking like, oh, is he gay? Is he gay? So I would probably do an extra little strut just because, bitch, I'm gonna give you something to talk about. And it's just like, and it was different me because when I was in my earlier 20s, I was more of a masculine gay. So it was just like, I mean, that's what I embodied at that point in time, and it was not because I was wanted to be that way. It was kind of fact that like the society that I was raised in kind of forced me to be that way. And I feel like the age that he is, that might be where he's at. So now that the cat's out the bag, everybody knows. Let me go ahead and show you a little bit of the culture, and I think what he's trying to mix in there. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. Sometimes it does a little bit much, but I think what he is, you got to realize what era, like Constance was talking about the era, we really don't have one. We're in an age now where things are just like everybody's just all of your business. We're in the troll age. This is the age of trolling. And I think he's mastered his trolling. And that's basically every time I see him put on a little dusty wig, a goddamn jacket with a train on it, and he out here doing extra in the video. It's just his way of trolling. And I get that, but it's just like, I see where y'all are coming from. It's kind of like, girl, what are you doing? But I kind of see like this time it's kind of like time to ring the alarm on these bitches and let them know like, hey, we hear this way, and get used to this, because if I have my way, you're going to start seeing a lot more of this. It ain't like the straight guys like Young Thug, Lil Wayne, and the rest of them ain't been skating on that line for a while anyway. He just skated. He just, as you seen on the pole, he just slid down that bitch. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm celebrating because, like, to be honest, if we have an honesty moment for it, man, I never really liked Lil Nas X. But I feel like I needed to like Lil Nas X because the homophobes were out to get him so bad. And it's like, y'all making mad about us because the gays are pushing the agenda. Most of the gays didn't even like him. This is before we even knew he was gay. We just didn't care for him. Yeah. But it's just like, y'all made it such a big deal, and y'all start not liking him because he was gay. Oh yeah, now I'm gonna make sure his music is streamed. I make sure I advertise him. I make sure that everything he do, he gonna get a yes bitch from me because y'all are so mad about it.
Amen.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And just to piggyback off that, I don't care for Lil Nas X personally either.
We know.
Stop
it, but you do defend him too. You do defend him at the same time too, though.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I don't care for him like personally, but to Carl's point, like, I do like what the gay stuff is doing on a societal level. Like, I like it because we need it. Like, he's like our version of Caitlyn Jenner in terms of like just how controversial it was for him to be.
Where you going with that?
I'm just saying he is, like, because y'all know how big of a deal it was when she came out and she transitioned, and it was just like, and she did some really interesting things with it. Like I liked how she kind of snatched wigs and was really like, because it broke a lot of doors. But to YB's point too, like it's funny when you mention like Young Thug and A$AP Rocky, because I've seen them all like wear skirts and kind of do a gender bending thing, and it's interesting that as cis hetero men, they pulled it off more organically and aesthetically than a whole gay man did. Like, and that's what lets me know that there's something kind of gimmicky and forced about the way that his label was selling him. Like, this is not completely genuine. And I will say that I think when it comes to fashion, that a lot of these designers like are making it about the actual clothes, and they're forgetting to keep in context who they're putting the clothes on. So you can't just make something interesting and then that be the reason that you slapping on any body, like, because a lot of shit that they're putting on people, it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't look right. And I think that that's where a lot of the disconnect is aesthetically too. Like, you have to work with what Lil Nas actually has and build something interesting around him, build something interesting around his body type, his complexion, build it around it instead of building the clothes and then slapping him inside of the creation, because it just looks jacked. So
absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. All right, but yeah, shout out to the dry ass VMAs. Shout out to the dry ass.
It's not the VMAs, YB. It's the culture. The culture ain't there, so everything sucks. The American Music Awards.
You know what?
The Oscars suck. They all suck.
You know what I think is happening? This generation or this era, whatever you want to call it, they are accepting mediocrity. I remember watching this show on Netflix. It's a new show where they talk about the innovation of music and the different, I forget what it's called, but it's a really good show. And I believe, was it Boys to Men? No, it was T-Pain. They were talking about the creation of autotune and how studio executives were extremely happy with the birth of autotune, because now they could just pick people that look good instead of people that actually had the talent. And ever since then, and I'm not blaming this on autotune, I'm just blaming this on those decision makers and those dumbass people. If you look at the type of artists of the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, there was work put in to giving us shows, giving us albums. There was a proper way to do rollouts. There was a proper way for marketing, promotions, just everything, right? There was a step. There was artist development. There were a lot of things to secure that this artist would. That's why a lot of those girls have the longevity they have. The Brandys, the Mariahs, even the Monica's, girl. You know, I laugh because
don't do my girl like that.
Well, her last two projects were, you know what I'm saying? Like Code Red was a hot mess. But you know, she's trying to come back. But like, that's why those girls have honorable mentions. You know, the Escapes of the world, the SWVs of the world, like, they may not be as popular as what's going on today, but they have longevity. They've lasted.
They can still sell a show out now.
Right, you know? So it's just, that's why we revere the Boys to Men's and, you know, the Ushers and, you know, the Jodeci, well, but getting drunk everywhere, child, and cussing the girls out and treating.
So, you know, we got our stories too, just like we got more of them now.
Yeah, and then everything is so accessible now. You got social media that's taken off. A lot of people are becoming social media stars. A lot of people are not putting in what the earlier girls put in. And I feel like that's why it's difficult to enjoy an award show, because a lot of the great things have already been done before. And these particular current people, because everything is so fast and acceptable, people don't feel like they have to put the work in. They don't have to put any thought in. Their ceiling, they put a ceiling, a limit basically on their creativity. And that's why I do celebrate a person like Lil Nas X, because he's doing things that are exploding like confetti out of a gay piñata, bitch. And it reinvigorates that mind. Like, girl, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, do your shit, bitch. And these other girls take note because we need that. Because that's why I've never enjoyed the awards. Like you said, it's been years since I've really just sat back and enjoyed an actual award show or a red carpet. The girls are literally just rolling out of bed and showing up. They're not even doing rehearsals anymore.
They're not.
And that shows from the VMAs as well, like with the performance with Jack Harlow. Like, girl, like there are things in that performance that we as the audience should not have been aware of. So are we doing the work? I did just celebrate him to sound like a contradiction, but that goes into it as well.
Being an artist on the independent level, it's not much different. Like I had this huge blowout with Miami Pride about how they treated us as artists. But then I in the same way, because there was no excuse for that. But on another note, I had to say, like, you have to look at the artists. Y'all were booking artists literally that showed up to your set. They traveled 700, 800, 900 miles away to come to your set with a t-shirt on and talk to people in the audience while their music playing. Like, y'all are literally just picking people just because. It's like, okay, they're very popular. They may have a following. And that's what it is. Like you said earlier about the social media thing. That's exactly what it is. That is social media following and fame and all that stuff. That is like the way the labels are looking at it now. That's your PR. That's your marketing. That's your record sales. That's everything. You got 20 to 50 plus thousand followers. You can literally put out anything and it's going to sell just because you have the following already. We've already discussed that. I got people like this, probably like on the lower end with followings like myself, Tramiel, like we're like 15K and under. Rico Cassadine, Rico with a K. These are other independent artists that I know, like our brothers to me. And some of them, a lot of them, I mean, they grind. They have they got electronic press kits. They have professional photos. They have they put on productions when they put on shows, and they will pick somebody that got 100K following. I mean, okay, we're gonna call it. I'm just go ahead and call it that. That's the type of person I am. Lil Nas X took a picture with 2 rappers, and like one of them ain't even really that good. He's just popular as hell. And it's just like everybody look like, yay, so and so linked up with Lil Nas X, and I'm looking like, well, he's not even a good rapper, like at all. He's just popular. And it's like, that's what it is. These people that's really grinding and really putting in the work are not getting any shine. But the ones that just, you got 100K followers, you in the door. And that's just the world we living in now. It's just like, I got on like when I have my meetings with my production team, I was like, we're talking about making TikToks and reels and things that ain't got nothing to do with music. That is the 30, 40 minutes of our conversation when we're having our meetings is talking about being TikTok famous and getting more following on Instagram just for somebody to get to listen to it. Because it's not like they're not streaming my music. My music is being streamed, but not to the level of, your Lil Nas X or the people he be taking pictures with. That's just what it is today. And I don't know why that is, but like they said, this day and age of this, I guess, generation is very comfortable with accepting mediocrity at this point. And you got to get with it or get lost or take your clothes off. Those are the options you got.
Yeah. And just to add to that, I just want to add like a little bit to that. Like I want to take it back to the fact that we are living like literally in a soulless era. Like
absolutely.
When we think about like award shows, particularly like in the context of speaking about music award shows, like because we don't have a culture anymore, we just have shit that's happening. We don't. It means that there's no nuance to none of this. So, like going back to a record, right? A record no longer is. There's no moment around the record when you can download it from your Google Play. When you can Google it, free stream it from your phone. Like, remember the days where you had to go to Walmart or to Sam Goody or to an actual music store and records and singles were a moment. Like there was a booklet, there's this thing you hold in your hand. It was tangible. It held sentimental value. But now because everything is digital, you can't create those type of moments anymore around these things. And so a lot of why we enjoyed music and music meant something to us back in the day is because it was tangible, but now it's invisible. So there's no soul to any of this anymore. Like, we're definitely in some type of ethereal, virtual reality, and it really does suck. Like, because this generation is not going to know the joy of like a CD player, and they're not going to know the joy of like an album booklet, and even artists, I'm sure, feel weird these days, especially those who came up in the 80s and 90s, because you don't even shoot, like, there's no photo shoots. There's like a lyric book assigned to, like, I remember all of that. Like, I have literally I still have my CD collection with the album booklets in it, like, and I get my life off of that whole thing, and I will always cherish that. And now to look at my album CD booklet and to look at my iTunes, it's just shit on the iTunes. It's just a song, a stream on the iTunes, but there's a soul in my album booklet. So, you know, I really do think it's an era thing.
No, Beyonce did say that like a while ago. Like, it's for what? People don't even listen to a full album. You will spend your hard-earned time and energy and money putting out a good 10, 15 song CD. And nowadays, like you said, like, I would hear one song, like you would hear one song like Sitting Up in My Room by Brandy, and you didn't get to preview the song, the entire album back in the day. You would get that one song, be like, that song is lit, and then they'll drop an album with the back, and you'll see you'll see the track list. You don't know what them songs sound like, but you're like, ooh, I just can't wait to get that CD so I can hear that.
Remember when the albums came? The albums used to come with the track list, but if you unfolded it, it was a photo. I used to make posters out of that shit.
Me too. I did too.
Yes,
but that was like Asha said, that was the moment right there. So like now you can go to my album, listen to, and you gotta realize this is the real 15 minutes of fame type of generation. If them like a stream for an album for a song is 30 seconds, at least 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You gotta realize we've been through artists like popcorn at this point. So it's like you can go to somebody's album, listen to 10 seconds of it. If you don't like it, then first 10 seconds, you done moved on to it. And guess what? They don't get that stream, and it's like the album pretty much flops. Like when I did my album, I picked songs or I picked beats that I know that if it didn't grab me in the first 5 or 10 seconds, I didn't want it on my album. Like I need something that's gonna grab you as soon as you hear it. Like I heard it, like my Bunny Pussy has a drip drop, so I put that Your Booty Soft Like Bunny Pussy in there to get bitches to say, let me listen, let me hear more. It's like you have to do things like that to kind of pull people in so they can actually give this shit a chance. People will be off your shit like that, and y'all gotta realize shit that was popping a year or two ago, you don't even remember the damn shit today.
And
can't even tell you what it was.
And also on that too, like forcing people to purchase physical copies made it damn near impossible for piracy to take over as it has now. Yeah. So why buy your shit when I can download it for free?
Period.
So it's like a throwaway type of generation, and I'm not really feeling that because it also undercuts the hard work that artists put into their music.
Absolutely.
But I'm also guilty as charged because, girl, in the last 10 years, a lot of people have put out trash. So I'm thankful that I can download your shit for free because, bitch, if I would have spun, because remember, albums back then were some money.
They were.
Now you can. That's why we download them, because I bought Nas's album for $10. Now back in the day, that album probably would have cost about $20, $25. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, I'm glad I'm not wasting my money because most of the albums I've downloaded were trash, and I can think, I'm so grateful I didn't waste my fucking money. You know what I'm saying? No, but nowadays I'm doing more supporting. I'm not downloading anymore. I'm doing a lot more, especially with my LGBT people like you, Tramel, Cat's Meow, Lil Nas X. Like, I support the community. You know what I mean?
We appreciate that. Like I said, buy the album goes a long way. And y'all realize, y'all buy our albums, that money comes straight to us. Straight to us. So it's
not the third parties and none of that shit.
And downloading does too. What you got on one stream is like 0.00001 cent. So it's just like, I would have to be like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj level to even see money from a stream. But I mean, it's good to like for marketing tools, but the money when you actually going in there and saying, "Hey, I like that," even if you don't like the whole album, if you buy that one song, that 99 cents, it goes a long way. 69 cents, because we be working with you, like we don't sell a single for 89 cents. We just want somebody to buy it. Then that cuts down on when it's time to put those music videos out, those costumes, pay those dancers. Like that stuff is not free. It's not cheap. It costs money.
Yeah. Especially when you're creating your own events.
Yes.
Doing everything yourself, like child. So make sure y'all support the team.
Absolutely.
All right. So y'all ready to move on to the weird shit of the night?
All right, let's get to the weird shit. We got the good shit. I was like, I seen the list for this today. I'm like, what the hell? Love, sex, and magic.
Can I add this one more thing for we bounce?
Oh, are we frozen?
You
was for a second.
Oh, I was frozen.
Everybody on StreamYard. But I was going to say, like, that's why I appreciate Beyonce, because I see Beyonce struggling to like maintain some semblance of that old era, which is why she tries to like do like documentaries, and she tries to shoot videos for every damn song, because she's trying to make up for living in this very like streamy, mechanical, mathematical, literal non-era that we're in. So I appreciate her having to do that and trying to give us a little bit of that. Hey, Tremel.
Hey, man. What's up, Tremel?
Hey, what's up? What we talking about? I'm sorry.
This song, she in the car still.
I'm not in the car. I'm outside walking the streets like a,
No, we were just moving on to some other subjects, but we were talking about like music and, you know, the different eras and trash versus, you know, real authentic shit and, you know, fashions and all of that shit. But yeah, we're child, just got a wave of something that's hit me. Girl. All right, so y'all ready to move on to the next subject?
Conscious was saying something.
Huh?
When you
I was just giving a shout out to Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's all I want.
Shout out to Bae. Okay, yes. So I want to get into some things. So there's a reason for my questioning, and then I'm gonna bring up the first thing, then we'll move into the other things, and then we'll end it with some thoughts. So the first thing I wanted to know is religious perspectives. What are yours? Do you guys have any thoughts on religion? What do you guys claim, if you claim anything? Why do you believe what you believe? So I'm going to start with Carl.
I was going to wait for somebody else to go. As a young child, I was deeply religious. I was a church boy. Like I wasn't I wasn't the type of kid that my parents forced me to go to church. I was like that 8-9-year-old kid, because there was a church around the corner from my house that would get up on Sunday and go to church on my own. So I was really into church. I really wanted to just, you know, I just thought it was, you know, the respectful thing to do. But the things that I saw and heard in churches, like from I think about from the age of like 8 or 9, and I did this all until I was about maybe 18, 19. And it was just like some of the worst people I've met in the world have been in the church. And it's just like the things that I've seen and heard and experienced in church was just like some of the worst things. For y'all to be, you know, God-fearing people and, you know, spreading the word, it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. It's like, it left me a very bad taste, even to this day, about church. Like today, I really don't like going to church, even now. It left, but I did. What'd you say? You have a question? I
was going to ask you, do you have a belief in God? Do you believe?
Oh yeah, I was getting there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So with that being said, yeah, you would think that I wouldn't have one, but in the unlike the things that I experienced in the churches, I was actually there getting what I was supposed to get out of it. So I got the stories, I got the readings, I got the teachings, I felt the spirit. So with that, it made me more spiritual than religious. So I do believe in a higher being. I do believe in higher power. I do believe that we know life after death. And I'm just more of a spiritual person. I believe in energies and auras, and, you know, we are going to be judged. The judgment day is coming. I believe in that, but I just don't believe in churches and their religions. I do not. I just don't.
What about what have you felt with God? Can you give an experience of the spirit? Like, what makes you? What do you have that experience to say that you know for sure there's life after death? Is there an experience that you have with that? Oh, girl, hold on. Go ahead, though, honey.
I don't know. I guess it's more of a belief for me. I feel like there's no way that once our time is done on this earth, that we're done. I feel like I've had things where I've had dreams of that nature, if that makes any sense, where it seems that I've been here before. So I'm not saying that I'm figuring once we die, we go somewhere. I don't know where that is. I may have died before the previous life and I just don't remember. But I've had that feeling things have been, when I feel like those feelings of deja vu, like I've been here before, I've experienced this before. It's hard to explain. It sounds a little crazy coming out sometimes, even hearing myself say it. But it's just like a belief. It's a feeling that I have. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe in, the feeling that I have. I believe in the feeling that I have. And I have been through a lot of things in my life and a lot of things that I shouldn't have made it out of, that I have made it out of. And I feel like that couldn't have been nothing but a higher power, because I can name a few instances that my ass probably should not be sitting here in front of y'all right now. But I am still here. So I feel like that could be nothing but a higher power. So that's my experience.
Okay. Conscious?
What's the question again?
Religious perspectives. Have you experienced God? Have you experienced the spirit? What makes you believe what you believe?
Well, I started having paranormal experiences at a very, very early age in my life. So me believing in something beyond this world it started at an early age, because a lot of my experiences were like experiential and not intellectual or academic, like a lot of religious peoples whose faith is based upon like what's in the Bible, what's in the Quran. Mine was based upon what was happening to me. So when I was younger, I used to hear, like when I would go to bed at night specifically, my mother and father would sleep with all the lights off in the house. And this was around when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And me and my brother shared a bedroom. So he would be in one bed, I'd be in the other in the room. And she would keep the house pitch black. And sometimes it would take me a while to go to sleep. And I would just look up at the ceiling and just stare there. And I would hear a multitude of voices like whispering, all in this very fast-paced type of language, like. And I remember just like listening intently, trying to pick out an English word or try to see if I can make out a sentence, and I could never make out anything. And I wouldn't be afraid. For some reason, I wasn't terrified. I was more so fascinated than I was terrified. And so experiences like that accelerated. And then I had another like experience when I was 11, where a girl in my neighborhood got hit by a car, and I saw her astral form rise out of her body, and she waved at me, and then she walked off into a mist. And that also happened in the same neighborhood at that time that we were being raised in. And so I always knew that there was something. Now, I grew up in a very Christian family, so that was the religion introduced to me. But after I became older, my mysticism just kind of evolved into like a oneness. So I'm somebody who ultimately just believes that God resides in all of creation, because God would have had to create all of creation, and that divinity resides in all living things, human, non-human, animal, nature, etc. And I believe that we're all also emanations of God. Like when I look at you, YB, or when I look at K-Star, when I look at Tremel, I look at God is playing a character through the personality of YB, through the personality of K-Star, through the personality of of Tremel, through the personality of conscious TV, that God is personifying itself through the uniqueness of humanity. And so in that way, human beings are very sacred to me.
Who been playing the demons? Because I done dated a few of them.
Huh?
Who been playing the demons? Because I done dated a few.
Well, you know, that duality.
That ain't the work of the Lord. I'm just saying.
That duality is there. So you know, in terms of God, I don't know if I ever I don't want to say I've experienced God, because I think that that's too big of a claim. I don't really know what God is. I know that I've experienced love, and I've experienced something very transcendent that was very beautiful, and something that doesn't really have a lot of language around it. So there is a beauty and a majesty and a divinity to reality and consciousness. And I'm just, if it's God, then it's God. I do know that something's there. But I think that that's what makes spirituality fun, is it's a journey of uncovering the answers for yourself and figuring out what's going on within this matrix of reality. So, yeah.
Okay. Tramel?
Is it loud as fuck?
No.
No, you're good, boo.
Oh, okay. So, me personally, I feel like, there is a higher power. I do feel that. I feel like things move in a certain type of way as to positive thinking, honestly. Like, if you do believe in something, things will happen for you in a certain type of way. I do believe in that. Was I a religious person? No, I was never. I never grew up in like a religious household, honestly. My dad's side of the family is very religious, but my mom's side was not. They were the club, they were the party side. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time. We turned up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do believe that religion does bring out the worst in people sometimes. Honestly, I feel like they use it as a pedestal to like condemn other people based off of, what they consider to be sins and whatever not. And I feel like that is wrong, obviously. And I feel like people think that certain actions or sins, if you will, are more heavy than others. Whereas from what, we've learned, obviously, is that they're all the same. And I feel like people are very, very hypocritical when it comes to religion, and they don't truly believe in what it's actually meant for, and that's to just be good to people.
Have you ever, so throughout your life, you've never felt a presence, you've never felt an energy or like a spirit, or just like how Carl was stating, or even constantly, including myself?
I will say that one time when I was laid up in a hospital bed, because I had something going on with me, and I don't really know what the fuck it was, but
it's called taking
I
a
was
big
doped
dick.
up on. It wasn't.
Texas was hanging out, baby.
No.
Period.
No, I actually was really sick, and like they had to put me on morphine, and like I was sleeping, but I was awake, but I was asleep. And for whatever reason, and don't laugh at me because this shit it might come off funny, and I remembered it to it. Turn that shit out! Ooh, my bad.
This is so ghetto.
So ghetto.
Oh my God.
That's Scooby. You with Scooby. I know who you with.
Loud in motherfucking color.
He said you was a sinner or some shit like that. But he said you was the devil. That's why you the devil now. That when you were doing your excerpt. But anyway, I was laying in that hospital bed, and I was doped up on morphine. So don't judge me. I don't really know if this really happened, but I was dreaming. I was dreaming, and I heard Beyonce Partition playing in the background. Like, it was playing. It was real dark in the room.
See, I knew why you was up in the hospital.
I was just like, there's something wrong with this. This is like the devil's music right now playing in my head. I love it. And like, I tried to wait. God damn it. Turn this shit off. I'm sorry.
That's the devil, baby.
They don't want me to tell this story.
That's the devil. I'm sorry. Look.
But yeah, so I tried to wake myself up because I felt like there was something wrong, and like I felt something like grab me and strap me to the bed when I was trying to wake up, and it was like screaming in my ear like, "You're gonna come with us" or some shit like that. It was some demonic type shit, and it scared the fuck out of me. So I do feel like it was something going on there. Like I don't know for sure, but I felt like it was something real, like demonic and like yeah. But that was the only experience I had. Scooby was sitting next to me. My cousin, he actually told me that he was hit by, he was in a motorcycle accident, and he said he could feel himself watching himself die.
Oh wow!
Like he was standing around with the other people, looking at himself on the ground.
The lady that hit me was screaming, "Oh my god, he's dead, he's dead!" And I was like standing in the street, like looking around, like who's dead?
Yeah, are those experiences near-death experiences?
The reason I draw these questions the way that I do is because I have experienced many things myself throughout my life. I've experienced astral projection, where I went on this trip one time, and I thought it was because I was exhausted. When I was like 15, I went to Tennessee to visit my sister. And I went to lay down after that long ass flight, and I was awake, but I was sleeping, and I was hovering over myself. And all of a sudden I was like transported to this like different time frame to where it was like me observing my situation. I was in a group home, so I don't know why I was transported to a timeline that was like old as fuck, but in the same situation of living in that group home. I don't know what the experience was, but it was weird as fuck, and I felt like my spirit was trapped there. So I just kept getting this guide from myself saying, go to that body in that timeline and lay down in it, and you'll wake up in the body that you came from. So I did that, and then once I did that, I immediately woke up in real life. And I was like, girl, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that was the first and only time I've ever experienced astral projection. It weirded me the fuck out. But I did feel like there was a lesson in that. I feel like it took me to a time period where I was really going through some things, and I was a different version of myself, but I always carried that self inside of me, if that makes sense. So I felt like maybe the message was, girl, look how far you've come, look who you used to be, that type of shit. There was another time I was sleeping in my bed, and I was like maybe 12 at the time. I was sleeping, and the spirit just said, wake up, bitch. And I woke up, and I looked at my window, and I saw 3 shadowy figures that just kind of like moved, like they were gliding in air. And they just stopped, they looked at me, and they just bowed, and they disappeared. Bitch, I was through. But I also looked at it as a message like, girl, we got you covered. I didn't get a bad energy from it. It was just like, girl, we bow to the queen girl, the queen's justice girl, like, you're going to be okay. Because I had a really crazy ass childhood. So I think those were like assurances, spiritual assurances to let me know that, girl, we got you covered. And girl, take in the words of Mariah Carey, take a look at me now. Yes, God, honey, I've come too far. Yes, Mariah, thank you, girl. And just other things, like I even dabbled, and we're moving on to the weirder shit. And again, there's a meaning to all of this, and we're going to bring it full circle towards the end, because there's a lot of people that they feel like they have to believe in one thing. And I ask people, is it possible to believe that all of these things can exist in the same universe? So I also experienced, because when I was younger, I also dabbled into the world of witchcraft. Amen. I was a weird ass kid, child. And certain things that I was able to do freaked me the fuck out, girl, to the point where I stopped doing that shit. Because I was like, girl, they say if you play with the shit, girl, some shit may end up happening. So there were some moments, and I know people are going to be like, YB is a crazy ass bitch. There was a time where I summoned the weather girl. I was Storm, bitch. I sure was. It was crazy. I lit these 12 candles, child. I did this little spell. I had bought this little spell book from this little historic bookstore in my local neighborhood, child. And honey, I was playing with the elements, girl, and it freaked me the hell out. I caused this crazy ass. I felt like I caused it, at least at the time. Again, I was a troubled youth, so maybe I was losing my shit. I don't know. But bitch, all I know is the weather was peaceful, calm. It was humid as hell. Then after that spell was written, after that spell was said and done, bitch, thunder and lightning poured down immediately, girl, and carried my little ass away. And I had to run for the hills, bitch, because I was scared as hell. Because when lightning started striking around me, not hitting me, but it struck around me. And this is real shit. I said, girl, let me stop playing with God. Let me stop playing with the spirits, girl, because I don't have time. When I was 18, well, I was 18 going on 19. I had reached the deepest depression of my life. I had lost 2 jobs that I was working at the time. I ended up losing my place. I ended up being hungry for like a week. I didn't eat shit, girl. I was living off cigarettes and Kool-Aid. I've told this story before on the channel. And I was at my lowest point. And I was like, girl, going through all I've gone through growing up, now that I'm, a young adult, still don't know, because foster care don't teach you things to survive as an adult. They don't teach you the basic things you need to know to get by. So I was just done for. I thought I had reached my breaking point. And child, I did like Sharon Stone, honey, and Basic Instinct, girl. Hello, God. I put on my best. And bitch, I walked down to that bridge. And I was going to jump, girl. I was going to jump. And I swear to you, the spirit spoke to me. Almost like, how back in the cartoons, they used to have the devil and the angel on each shoulder. And there was like a conversation going on. And that's how it felt. But it wasn't like a thing. It was like someone in my head speaking to me saying, girl. And it's because I feel like God will come to you as you will accept as you are. You know what I mean? So he's not going to come to you as this like, saint figure. He's going to approach you the way
in a way that you'll understand it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I swear the spirit said, girl, what the fuck are you doing? You have yet to experience this life. And it wasn't just the conversation going on in my head. It was the feeling that I got. Because I was really 100% about to just jump. Fuck this shit. Life is too hard, girl. I didn't ask for these troubles. And I don't know how to get through it all. But I swear, like, I always look back to that moment when times get rough. And when people say they can't explain, you can't really, but you can feel that there's this energy, there's something, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it something else, but I felt that, and that saved my motherfucking life. May not come when you want him, but he'll be there on time. Amen.
Amen.
But I wanted to, again, we're talking about the mysticism of it all. Do you guys believe that there is a power like witchcraft, sorcery? Do you believe that there are those things that, are among the world, that people can do things?
I feel like it gotta be. Like, if we're talking about higher power, and like in every story that we've known since the beginning of time has always been good and evil. So all this higher power and good and warm rainbows, it gotta be some dark shit in there too somewhere. It gotta be. So I believe I believe in all that stuff. I mean, one of my favorite movies is The Skeleton Key.
I love that movie.
Yes, and what I loved about it is that like people that didn't believe in it, it didn't affect them. But as soon as they started believing it, it was getting them. So it's like, I mean, I'm here for it. I don't want to dabble in it, but I'm here for it.
Conscious.
Well, I am clearly a practicing.
So you a witch too? What is this? The craft?
It's charm, honey. It's the
I'm Sarah at this point. Let me get up out of here.
It, Nancy. I bind you, Nancy. Yes. Paganism is the world's oldest religion and spirituality. Literally every religion was birthed out of the occult and spiritualism. And witchcraft is all about understanding what's not opposite, it's really in tandem with the natural laws, which are the metaphysical laws. And there are laws that govern our reality, just like the laws of gravity, the laws of aerodynamics, the laws of nature. There are the law of attraction, the law of magnetism, the law of polarity. There are forces that hold reality together. There are forces that hold protons and atoms together. There are laws that literally maintain the micro reality, just like there are laws that maintain the macro one. So witchcraft, or what they call spells and curses, is just an understanding of those laws and how to bend and yield and appeal to those laws to release or to move energy about in a specific way, whether that energy is used to harm someone or whether that energy is used to heal someone, because a lot of the spiritual laws are actually really neutral. The way you utilize them comes down to the intent of the practitioner. I grew up in like a very Christian / Indian culture, so there's a lot of like hoodoo roots and shit within my lineage. And I mean, just growing up around people, I saw the way that people utilize herbs and prayers and affirmations, and putting a lot of intentionality into even a ritual as simple as cooking was something that you did with a certain spirit and a certain energy. So yes, I definitely believe in. I'm going to go even further than that. My entire life, everything in my entire life, everything that serves me, that is well for me, that is good for me, is literally the result of utilizing spiritual laws to the fullest extent. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. A lot of religious people are stuck because they think that God is a being that's literally listening to them, and they don't understand that what we call God is a conglomerate of like complex systems that work in harmony, and that harmony is what people can perceive as a singular God. Or you can look at the individual complexities of what makes up the entirety of this harmony that we have in the universe, and just deify those individual aspects. So like, it's literally like the difference between me severing a YB's arm. That arm is an extension of YB, but that arm also has like an independent function that's very different from YB's leg, YB's foot, YB's head. Now, the arm belongs to, it works in tandem with an entire system, a whole body, a whole anatomy. So in that way, I can refer to YB as an individual and perceive him as one being, or I could compartmentalize him because there's all these independent functionalities that make up the one person that we refer to as YB. So I look at God the same, and witchcraft pretty much is a way of breaking the nuance of God down and utilizing aspects of God and or spirit, or you can make God a monolith and just kind of draw from it as a whole, but it's just a science.
I heard that.
I want people to also look at when we talk about like witchcraft or magic or the supernatural effects, like even the great old Bible, if we want to believe that the Bible exists, talks of the stories of like people like Moses who were able to perform these great miracles. Also with him, that the Pharaoh and his people were also able to perform these great miracles. At one point, we have to think about that too. Like, girl, even Jesus himself was trained in the art of getting the girls together with the cute old, they say it was the power of God, but there's no telling how that power manifested. So there are even nods and paid respects to people who are performing these great supernatural feats. So
So
to count
Jesus
it
and
out,
Moses that was all doing witchcraft is what you getting at.
I mean, pretty much. I'm not going to say witchcraft, but they were doing things that if you take, people want to dress it up in the word miracle as if it's divine. But if it was so divine, how was the Pharaoh and his wizards, or whatever you want to call sorcerers at the time, able to perform feats of their own as well? So obviously, if they didn't get theirs from God, they were able to manifest it on their own. So why couldn't Moses have been able to manifest his as well? You know what I mean? In a lot of ways. Jesus, you are literally kept with what? Raised up the whole river and fed a whole village. Water into wine. Like, it's the equivalent of the rabbit coming out of the hat. You know what I mean?
The Bible sounds to me like the first installment in the Harry Potter book. That's what it sounds like to me. That's just me. Because them stories are out of this world.
Yeah. And I believe that those are dressed up nods and respects to an actuality that was in that reality. That's all I wanted to say. Tremel, you with this?
He drinking.
I'm here. Hold on.
No problem.
Okay. Woo. Child, I'm not in the Jeep no more. So what's up?
No, just getting onto the subject matter of, witchcraft, sorcery, supernatural things. Have you ever experienced? Have you ever?
Oh, Moses and Jesus a wizard, bitch.
Okay, so when I was I'm just gonna say this little anecdote. When I was maybe 15, 16 or something like that, I thought I could be Jean Grey, so I looked up how to be a telekinetic. And so I stood outside for a good hour trying to figure out how to make the wind move and shit like that. Because I wanted to be connected to the spiritual in a way, in a little weird way. But no, that was the only experience that I've ever actually tried. I do believe that there is people who believe that in witchcraft and things of that nature, and I do believe that, like I said,
there's two of them on here. We got two witches on the damn panel.
I see. I do believe in intentional thinking, and those types of things can push forces in certain directions.
There go your Nancy down there, bitch.
I am not Nancy, okay?
Girl,
I bind you, Nancy.
I bind you from doing harm to others and to yourself, bitch. But no, I believe that people believe that. I'm not gonna say that they're crazy, but I do think that it is a special relationship with the elements to think that you're a Wiccan. No, we've all watched Charmed and those shows and the movies. X-Men. Well, that's different. That's supposed to be scientific, you know what I'm saying? But they say, witchcraft is something supernatural. It's communing with the four winds or whatever you want to call it. But I do believe that there are some people who have some magical forces within them, whether it be a vibe, or aura, or something like that, because otherwise we wouldn't have all these pretty stones that people put around their neck to protect them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that that is a thing. I haven't really experienced it myself. I do have a stone that's supposed to cleanse your spirit, but it ain't really did that much cleansing for me. But I do believe it can happen. So yeah, that's my thing.
Okay.
Can I say can I add just a little bit something to that?
Mm-hmm.
The powers of our soul are a lot more common than what people give credit to. What people actually call coincidence is actually synchronicity and law of attraction at work. Everybody probably has had bouts of psychic awareness, like knowing who was at the door before you even opened it, knowing who was calling you, who just texted you, or holding a thought or a desire in your mind, like just thinking about a Leah song, and then 15 minutes later you turn on the radio and 4-page letter is singing, or you just thinking about your mother, and then an hour and a half later she's calling you or pulling up, or so but the reason why we trivialize those things is because we live in such a left brain masculine culture that teaches us to use dense language to kind of deny spiritual reality, like coincidence, like probability,
Deja
and
vu.
yeah, deja vu, or like we masculinize it. And if we would stop adopting that language and really be present in those moments and think about how, like, what those
You know
instances.
what? Sorry to cut you off. You made me think about my youth. When I was young, I was very connected to my dreams in the weirdest ways. Honestly, I would dream things in like maybe a month or two, even a year. Some years as well would go by with certain dreams that would actually come to fruition. Full on moments and experiences in the current reality that I had years prior. And I don't call that deja vu because I feel like deja vu is a little bit different than that. But it would be very weird. I was like, damn, like I dreamt about that when I was a kid. Or things coming up the next day. I'm like, girl, like what the fuck is going on here? So I feel that though. I think I've had psychic awareness since I was a young person. That's probably why I have all the crazy kind of like supernatural experiences that I've had. And because, girl, I think that the things that happen to those people the most, because I've read up on it too, obviously, and it says that people who are psychically, connected like that will have some of the most weirdest experiences throughout their life. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
The witches are fighting.
Okay, it's not a witch fight.
Bitch, pull out your wand, bitch, and abacadabra, bitch, honey.
Expelliarmus!
Expelliarmus, bitch. Expecto Patronum, bitch.
I represent Gryffindor, honey.
Ooh, that's a good question. Which house do you think you'll be in? Is it a house or is it a home? Which one is it?
Child, the house of Gryffindor, honey.
I'll probably be in Slytherin.
They was using their magic for all the wrong reasons.
I want to be honey.
I would have definitely been making niggas drop their draws, honey.
And listen, that's why you'd been a Slytherin with me, bitch.
I'm telling you. I'm like
fucking niggas with our magic, bitch.
I'm the house of Darion with all this ass.
Okay, yes, honey. Yes. I just feel like, we have to be able to think outside the box because I feel like we've been conditioned to believe certain things. One of the things I always talk about is, during the slave trade time period, that everything that we know now, whether it's Christianity, Catholicism, whatever it is over here in the West end of things, I feel like was beaten into our ancestors. You didn't want us to read, but you forced us to read the Bible. You forced your religion on us, and I think we have to think that every culture has their own thing. Just like every culture has had experiences with the next topic.
UFOs, more weird shit.
This is the last one. UFOs and aliens.
Oh God.
I believe in the Martians.
Have you ever had an experience? Have you seen a UFO?
Hell no, I don't want no. They be breaking bitches with their fingers and shit. I ain't got time for that. No. You gonna take me out in the cornfield and put a finger in my ass? What they call it, probing.
Ain't no
that's our weekly jam, ain't it?
Bitch, we're used to that.
I got probed last week, bitch.
Listen,
it was good.
My bread could probe me all day long. Now his probe, I'm down with.
I feel like I don't want this discussion to be too long because we're already at our marker point, but I do feel as if in the vastness of space, this universe that has yet to even be discovered, it would take us, if not millions, billions of years to actually get out of our own solar system, our own galaxy. Are we really alone? Are we that
narcissistic? Believe it's one planet with just us on it. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Could we be that narcissistic to believe that we are the only beings in this entire universe.
They having another Yes God Roundtable, billions and billions of light years away, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? And alternate universes and multiple universes. Like,
bitch, I hope I'm rich in the next land, bitch, because I'm poor here.
Yeah.
It's ghetto. I don't like it. This is 2 stars, bitch. I don't like this.
Get us to the next galaxy.
I hate it here.
I do just feel like it's really weird, and I think that the human experience, especially when we draw up the evidence from a lot of the historians, and we look at the pictograms, and we look at the cultures around the world that have experienced these things. I believe there's a lot of truth to what our ancestors have experienced, what we are currently experiencing, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but it's becoming more acknowledged and more public that, UFOs are real. And people are trying to decipher, okay, unidentified objects doesn't necessarily mean aliens, but if we're not the ones creating the technology, obviously, if it's foreign to this world, it would be considered alien.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to, I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready to see some shit. I've never experienced a UFO situation before in my life. I find the topic very interesting. Conscious?
Definitely. Me and my mother actually witnessed a UFO back in the early 90s. One night when I was coming from the Candy Lady down the hill, and it was about 7:30.
Come on, Candy Lady. Yes.
That just brought back a ton of memories. Just in that word.
Culture, ton of memories.
What kind of candy did she give you, though?
Child, she sent me right on
the
down there
baggie with all the little fruity things in it.
She sent me right on down there for a chocolate bar and a Pepsi Cola, and it was in a can.
There was something in that bar.
And the Candy Lady lived literally right in front of us down the hill, so she was able to stand on the porch and watch me go down the hill, come back up, and when I looked to my left, there was 2 metallic triangular shaped aircraft sitting.
Who owned it, Anita? Who owned it? I was reading the comment.
There was 2 metallic triangular shaped spacecraft sitting parallel to one another, and they weren't hovering. They were just sitting perfectly still, mid-air, a few feet above the roof of the complex, and they made no sound, no nothing. They was just sitting there mid-air, parallel, side by side, and me and my mother just looked. And at that time, ironically, here's the synchronicity, I was looking at a lot of UFO phenomena in magazines, and they were talking about this rise of sightings with triangular shaped UFOs. And so I was stoked, totally freaked out. I was just I could not believe it. And I don't even remember blinking, because I did not want to miss any aspect of what was happening. My mother eventually wanted to get back to her TV and ushered me on in the goddamn house, and I never knew what became of those objects in the sky. They just sat there, they never reacted to anything. And so we're definitely not alone. And we're not the only culture. We think that UFO phenomena is so new, but if you look throughout history, indigenous people have been experiencing things that they call angels, that they call demons, that they call Bigfoot, Sasquatch. I mean, there's always been sightings and carvings on the side of pyramids depicting what the ancients perceived as aerial phenomenon. And I mean, if you look at ancient man, I mean, they have stories of whole nuclear wars that took place in their skies and airways. And so there's a lot to be said. What that means, I don't know. But are we alone? Absolutely the fuck not. We're not alone. Oh yeah, and to YB's point, earlier this year, CNN, Fox News, they released footage from the Pentagon of UFO sightings. Lots of people don't even know that the White House has historically has so many instances of UFOs appearing over the White House. Even one president sending fighter jets to blow these things out of the sky, and UFOs taking the fighter jets on a wild goose chase. They would disappear in midair. They were zigzagging through the air, going on and off radar. Fighter jets couldn't even lock a missile on these things. And these things have and this is history. This is literally American history. And so, this is mind-blowing reality.
And we're not the only country to experience these things. Other countries like Russia, Asia, Africa, those continents, obviously, but you know what I mean. Shit. South America, more specifically, most recently, just had a big situation going on over there where there were multiple sightings over the course of 3 weeks where these things were just appearing out of the sky for no reason in droves. We're not talking about one or two, we're talking about multiple. Oklahoma, famously, a few years back, had, I forget how many it was, but it started off as this one long structure hovering in the sky, and then all of a sudden it had multiple lights that were shooting everywhere throughout the sky. And this was recorded. There are many documentaries that have just recently came out on Netflix. YouTube has a couple of them as well, to where these are age-old stories that are just now coming to light because now it's so much evidence, you can't dust this under the carpet like the governments have done in recent past. So they have no choice now but to confront this situation, because I think to admit this is to admit that, girl, we're powerless. That's why we're scared. That's why we have to sit here. Everyone is always concerned about, is the invasion going to happen? Let me just say this.
Y'all think Mars attack?
If indeed this shit is true, these things are obviously have shown they're way more advanced than we are. If they wanted to do harm to us, they would have already done that by now. It is my opinion that the Earth provides something. I believe the Earth, the reason why a lot of things surround us in Earth's magnificence is because I believe that we are the life source, at least for this galaxy and this solar system. For all we know, Earth is where all life truly began. So is it safe to say that they could be ancestors in a lot of ways? Could they be a version of us that just outgrew the inhabitants of this land? Because mind you, there's many stories saying that they can't survive long here in our atmosphere. That's why they come and go so quickly. I feel like they get what they need because I think the Earth provides something that they need for whatever land they come from in order to survive. That's why I believe there are also multiple sightings of them being around nuclear plants. Russia had a situation not too long ago where their arsenal shut down and shut on, and multiple military officers claim to have seen what they call a UFO interfering. So I believe like they're heavily invested in the health and wealth of Earth because they also need it. But I believe they're saving us from ourselves as well. So to my point, I don't think they're evil. If they were, they would have wiped us out a long time ago because they can. So, shout out to the aliens for sparing a bitch because I don't have time to.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who do you think will win in a fight, a witch or an alien?
Oh,
An alien. By the time you say your spell,
we talk about magical or hand-to-hand combat.
Well, we don't know what the aliens possess. We don't know their back because, again, according to historical record, we have encountered 32 different species of aliens. So we don't know what all of those species are capable of. If they're capable of time traveling, then there's been ideas that that's a possibility for them. They create instant wormholes. Girl, please. I mean, I know that was a funny little that comparison.
E.T. versus Nancy.
Who?
What?
E.T. versus Nancy. Who winning?
Nancy.
E.T. gonna put that ugly ass finger on that bitch's forehead.
Child. Nancy
E.T. is gonna win.
She done called all the shit already.
I feel like Why can't all of those exist in the same place though? That's one of the reasons I wanted to like end that on that note, because I feel like.
So you think it's like a Halloween town out there or something?
No, I really do feel like in a lot of ways, what if the aliens are our God? What if they are?
That's a plot twist.
What? Because mind you, there's a time of large vastness of time. Think about it. When archaeologists dug up the remains of I think she was 4 million years old, the first woman, if you want to call her Eve. Come to find out, when they tested her DNA, all of humanity is linked to that one woman. Now, if we take that and we put it in the Bible's context, because we want to lean on that, right? The Bible and Jesus and all of that was thousands of years old. But this woman is 4 million years old. And if we look at the caveman, the Neanderthal, there's basically like proving that Charles Darwin's theory of evolution is wrong. Because there's a missing link to when humanity got its intelligence. Because if we look at the Bible, the appearance, that the description of Adam and Eve is very much human. They're not hairy, they're not on fours, they're not doing the things that the Neanderthal or the caveman, their behavior was different. So if we want to believe in the Bible and look at the Garden of Eden, could the Garden of Eden actually be a lab? A created environmental dome? Because that's where we want to think that humanity started, but science tells us something different. How do we jump from the Neanderthal to the sophisticated, highly intellectual human being that we see today? There's a large.
How do people just get here? Like, did a dinosaur fuck a grasshopper or something? Like, I'm trying to figure out how we even got here.
It's my belief. Say it again. I'm sorry.
I just want to know how we got here, because like it wasn't people around. So like, how?
Right.
Like, was it a species of dinosaur or something? Like, what are we?
If we relate the two and we talk about the heightened intelligence that was implanted in the human experience, I believe that the Garden of Eden in some way could be a created dome laboratory, and that's when aliens started experimenting on humanity by giving us the heightened intelligence that we have.
But couldn't we be the zoo?
There's no historical reference to show where that missing time is at.
Right.
We didn't just wake up intelligent.
And I said that I was thinking that earlier. We were talking about like the UFOs that was hovering around, like how kind of like how we do over a goldfish tank. We look at them play and shit. We pick one out or whatnot. Like I said, they be abducting us and shit. So I could think we could just be the zoo, bitch. They just come here like, oh, look at the animals and shit, and then they take their ass back home. That's what I'm getting. Possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
I'm going to be honest. I think that the Neanderthal narrative is skewed. I think that those Neanderthals, how you pronounce it?
Neanderthals. Those are the descendants of white people.
Yeah, I was going to say that those are conquistadors.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting about the question YB posed earlier about who would win in a fight, or somebody had posted, is it was Tremel, alien or witch. I'm going to say a witch, and I'm going to say this because what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of people who have claimed to have been abducted or were in the process of being abducted actually found that calling upon the name of Jesus during their abduction actually aborted the experience. That these beings fled, that the experience dissolved at the calling upon of the Holy Spirit, Jesus' name, or whatever name felt sacred to the person who was experiencing this situation, which makes me believe that aliens are more interdimensional than extraterrestrial, that these are more metaphysical beings who have the technology to personify themselves into our dimension, but do not necessarily originate from our same time-space continuum. And so I think that is very interesting. A lot of abductees also have reported the smell of sulfur, which is also a scent, an aroma, an element that's associated with demonic activity, that's also associated with the jinn species that the Quran speaks deeply about. And what's interesting about the jinn scenario is that jinns have powers to shapeshift, and aliens seem to be able to produce like false realities and plant false thoughts and those type of things. So I think that there is a connection between the jinn realm or the elemental realm and what we call aliens. Or even the Nephilim, like the Bible talks about a Nephilim race, which were the product of fallen angels inbreeding with human women. And this kind of is what was the catalyst for God to flood the earth, was an attempt to get rid of the wickedness of man, but also to eradicate the planet of this hybrid race. A lot of people believe that because the jinn were unnatural and that they didn't have a heaven or a hell to go into upon their deaths, that their soul remain earthbound, and those souls have conspired to enter into a body again because they know what it's like to have a body. So things like demonic possession and or alien and abduction phenomenon happens because maybe this race of beings who once had a physical body are trying to figure out how to not have an artificial body like the ones they run around in as grays and shit, but are trying to reanimate a more sophisticated body so that they can have what's close to a human experience or a 3D experience again. So there's a lot of interesting thought and perspective around these type of phenomenons, and I think a little bit of everything is the case.
It could be a bomb-ass movie. I'd watch it.
I feel like too. You referenced the hybrids. I find it funny that across a lot of different cultures and their mythology, they also talk about their gods coming down to earth, laying with man and women, and producing demigods and people who.
Yeah, that's how Hercules got back.
So I mean, can all of these things be wrong when you're talking about a time period where there was impossible intercontinental travel? These people had these experiences. We're now starting to see and experience some of those things as well in our time. I just beg the question, like, girl, where do we go from here? And I feel like what we do with this information, how we react to, because the white man's way is always to be violent, to be destructive, and to try to combat against things that may be more advanced and more powerful than them. So I feel like if they don't calm down, that's what's going to push the potential violence against us from, the so-called alien people. But also, I wanted to say real quick, too, another way to prove these points is to look at a lot of the older ancient structures. I find it impossible, humanly impossible, to be able to achieve what man architecturally has been noted to achieve in the past. When we look at the Sphinx, when we look at the pyramids of Giza, when we look at the Lighthouse of Alexandria, when we look at multiple structures throughout our time, it would have been impossible. We didn't have the technology. We didn't have the tools. We definitely didn't have the fucking strength to do the things like put together the pyramids. There's precision fucking cutouts that no one could have built a tool for back then unless it was higher, more advanced technologies. So I think the proof is in what's our world has already experienced, what we're experiencing now. And it would be a shame to be closed-minded to this, because what I'm going to laugh at is the day that we see that communion, because I feel like it is near. All of the most recent things happening, the world is changing, global warming is wreaking its crazy head over us. Things are happening in this world that we can't explain, but to shut ourselves off from it would be very naive, very stupid for us to do. So, I appreciate y'all joining me for this weird discussion.
Yes, I mean, girl, I'm always here for all of the esoteric ass dialogue, honey.
Yes,
it is riveting and fascinating.
Yeah, think about multiple. They're actually doing studies right now to talk about, the fact that they're finding evidence to prove that there are multiple realities within a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that there's one reality where there's one right answer, one wrong answer is stupid and it's crazy. And I love the idea of weird shit. I love the idea, girl, we're not alone. I love the idea of thinking outside of the socially conditioned box because those girls are lame. Those girls are lame as fuck. I like the idea of that extraness. Like Carl talked about earlier, just being extra. I love that idea when it comes to this particular topic because I like when our foundations are shaken. It proves that the old way, the stubborn, socially conditioned way, is nothing but is fodder and bullshit. And these white men, these powerful countries are so scared, and I love their fear. Because, yeah, you thought you were that girl subjugating your people and taxing your people and beating us into submission with the way that you want us to think. But, girl, there's something higher and more powerful than you, whether it's God, whether it's aliens, whether it's these witches, girl, bitch. People cannot stand when there's more power. There's something more powerful than them. So I love when the foundation is shaken and the realities are put to test, honey. Amen.
Amen.
Like always, at the end of the show, I like to give a quote. This one is from an unknown person, and it's titled, I Like Weird People. The black sheep, the odd ducks, the rejects, the eccentrics, the loners, the lost and the forgotten, more often than not, these people have the most beautiful souls, bitch. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
No, this was a great show. I enjoy the diversity, honey. I love it. It was a full play.
Yes. I just wanted something different, child. Something different.
Yes, and that's what we specialize in. Uniqueness.
Hello, God.
Nerve and talent.
Okay.
I think Nancy would beat Harry Potter's ass.
Bitch, you still on that?
Yeah.
Right.
That bitch ain't let that go, bitch.
That's a good discussion.
When we go into the verses of the witcheries of it all, we have to think about, covens and shit. Nancy, more particularly, if we want to go there, they have to say spells a lot of times. We're talking about Harry Potter and those girls. A lot of times they don't have to say anything. They can just do it. So it's all about reaction time. So I truly believe Harry Potter would wipe the floor with, Now the charmed ones are undefeated. Hello, God. But
absolutely, they have active powers, honey.
They're active powers.
Let's not forget the baddest witch of them all, Scarlet Witch, honey.
Absolutely.
What the child?
I think y'all sleeping on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Okay?
Samantha will beat Sabrina's ass.
Period.
Sabrina is that bitch, okay?
All she gotta do is wiggle her nose, bitch. All she has to do is wiggle her nose.
She didn't get a chance to do it because Sabrina was ruling hell.
Gone, honey.
Not that Sabrina.
That's
the Sabrina in the show on Netflix. The Netflix Sabrina is that girl.
Yeah.
She's that girl. Even though that last season was trash.
It was trash. Trash.
But the one before that was when she became the devil. I mean, when she became the underworld leader, I said, yes, God.
Oh yeah, she was in there.
She was killing the girl, snapping necks midair, bitch. Homegirl was doing her thing, fucking all these niggas. Hello, God. Get yours, Sabrina. Yes. Yes, girl. That's why they won't give me powers, because girl, I will use them for the wrong reasons. I'm not evil. I'm not evil.
Wrong reason.
Free bitch. The power of 3 will set you free.
It sure will, and so will the truth.
The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You always see it. You always see those synchronicities everywhere. People talk about covens. What do people think that Jesus and the disciples had? That was a coven.
In the covenant.
They had prayer meetings.
Yes, which all things that can happen within a coven. Travell. Me and my coven brothers have prayer meetings. We have spiritual baths together. We do all type of
spiritual baths.
Yeah.
What's a spiritual bath?
Free cleanse.
That sounds like a sex party.
It do. Sometimes, and sex is just an expression of bond and loyalty and commitment. Okay.
It sounds like a sin box.
I'm putting that on my next flyer, bitch. Come over to my house for a spiritual bath.
Yes.
Bitch, I know who's gonna be on the first plane from New York smoking, bitch. If you put that out there.
You know, voodoo actually does a lot of bathing as well. It's like cleansing you from evil, and maybe a person may put a curse on you. I know the Spanish, and Santa Muerta, they talk about it as well. You know, cleansing you from any evil energies that people may have tried to put on you, child. So I mean,
and Christians call it.
You from
and Christians call it a baptism
and probing your booty.
And Christians call it a baptism, and they practice feet washing. My issue with religion is that they do the same thing that pagans do, but because they deify it and slap the ultimate God on it, they try to brand it as something other than. It's the same thing. Whenever you pray, you're casting a spell. You're setting forth an intention. You're commanding a reality when you're praying for somebody to get well, or you're praying for this nosy neighbor to move out, or you're praying for the noise upstairs to stop, or you're like, and people and
praying for money in your bank account,
right? And just because you call it, and just because you call it prayer, you think that is something different than saying an affirmation or casting a spell. It's just the way that religion has like so cleverly tried to rebrand themselves as non-witchery is this comical to me. So it's all one and the same. Don't let the semantics fool you, honey. This is all witchery and bitchcraft and metaphysics, and it's just labeled and titled as Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, paganism. It's the same mechanisms, honey. Like, think of it like this. You can call it a BMW. You can call it a Lexus. You can call it a Hyundai. But what they all are fucking vehicles.
The fuck?
Oh, see? Witchcraft, honey. Yes.
Okay, that's the witchcraft right
there.
The
power of two, bitch. Period. Oh, look how we done conjured out up, honey, like the four corners of the east, west, south, and north.
I don't know what the fuck just happened. My computer.
Bitch, it's called bilocating, appeared in two places at once.
Honey, ooh.
We done spoken. There it is, honey.
Honey, my fucking computer just shut the fuck down.
Look, because we're talking power, honey, shutting shit down, just like on the set of the Craft, honey. When they got to doing the rituals and shit, all the equipment start failing. Baby.
Well, let's use that spell to fix my fucking computer, bitch.
You can do that.
I'm just over it right now. Thank God I have my phone handy.
Thank God.
Child.
I bind you, Nancy.
Shut. You know what? See, stop using your powers for evil, Tramiel. That's why shit's shutting down already. Because you binding shit up on the stream, honey, and fucking up shit.
I'm trying to bind his computer.
Okay. Why would you bind his computer?
In the name of good.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Ain't that how it works?
I need to get away from all this binding language, honey. It's time for me to go.
I'm ready to get binded up.
It's triggering me,
but I have to make sure, you know.
Oh, is the word bind? I thought you thought it's too close to bondage, huh?
Hey, I mean all of the things. Tie me up, bitch. Choke me.
You know that is definitely some witchery.
Hey, pray over my body, honey.
In this house.
Your body all over my body, baby.
Baby.
Honey. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Cats Meow, who can be with us tonight. He had to work, honey. Yes, God.
Yes.
And shout out to everybody else. Again, we have 2 episodes left, honey.
My goodness.
Yes, God. And season 3 will be ending. Season 4 will be in the works for the new year, honey. Hello, God.
Hello.
Amen.
It's been amazing so far. I've enjoyed myself. And once again, thank you for even, selecting me for
turn my camera off. I'm the only bitch still sitting up there.
Y'all need to get pictures in y'all thing.
I tried to
I
put a
made
bitch
an
up on there
account.
before I got up there, but the shit wasn't working. I don't know what the fuck. I had to
No,
keep
I never made an account. I said like I need to make one because the corporate mouthfuls did one a long time ago. We just we've been busy with other shit.
I hear you.
Oh my God.
Do y'all thing, honey. Well,
Okay.
then, thank y'all. So y'all got
I mean,
anything
y'all can
coming
see
up?
me. I got a bonnet on though. I don't know if y'all want to see that.
Monique might come out from the Heaven's Child and tap you on the shoulder, girl. We don't have time for her.
Oh, but no, she only talk about the girls that ain't in their house. I'm in the house.
Okay, yes.
Okay, beloved.
Anything y'all want to promote real quick before we get out of here?
Me and Chanel are having a concert in November. Tickets will be going on sale very soon. Please be on the lookout. If you're in the Atlanta area or coming to the Atlanta area, I need y'all to support us, help us. We're poor.
Yeah, help us. We're very poor.
Amen. Amen.
It's gonna be actual shows. We some of y'all ain't seen here from your local independent artists before. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Make sure y'all support, honey. Support.
Yeah, I need to get y'all tickets. Come on out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you.
Oh.
Yeah, concerts are no. Yeah, you got to come from Alabama off the farm and stop sacrificing animals in the bed.
I don't know when I'll be in Atlanta next, but definitely when I do come. But then again, by the time I end up coming, Carl been and moved on to New York, child.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Okay, I know that's right.
Okay.
Just for me, I know that's right, bro.
Just for me.
Yeah, I love it. I love Conscious. You got anything you want to promote? You got anything coming up?
No, just regular some megala content, child. You know, just continue to tune in to the platform, honey. It's a lot going on. After I get my setup and everything situated, I mean, it's gonna be content creating pretty much full time. So I just thank everybody who's already supporting. And if you haven't checked out the platform, follow me over on Conscious TV on YouTube and follow me on Conscious TV on Instagram. I'm also about to revamp my Instagram again because I know what I want to do now with my Instagram. So
okay, that's what's up.
Follow me on Instagram.
As for me, y'all follow me on Instagram. Y'all know the T already. YB Entertainment, YBENT.TV. Tika Naturals, my side business, my skincare shit. I'm posting things this week. The official launch date is very soon, but I am accepting pre-orders right now. I do have some things made up. I still have to finish some other stuff, but that stuff is quick in a hurry. So if you guys would like to order, please feel free to hit up my Gmail account at tikanaturals@gmail.com, honey, okay? And look up my Instagram, Tika Naturals, hello God. And I also posted some information today on my YB Entertainment TV YouTube page. So guys, check that out if you're interested. And I may be late on some things in the upcoming weeks because, work is a little bit more these days. But I will be, putting more content up and things like that. All right. Again, I appreciate everybody for joining us. Shout out to the chat. You guys are lovely as always. There was something mentioned earlier that I'm not talking about, and I won't talk about it. But I appreciate y'all for your concern. Thank you so much. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Support the panel in all their endeavors. Please, please, please. And yeah, be blessed and never stressed, y'all. Remember, health is wealth, bitch. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.